Lowest paying college degrees. Let's get it.
What are the 3 worst college degrees that you can possibly get?
Oh man,
as it pertains to making money?
It's usually the low income, sometimes first generation Americans that fall into the traps of these because they're sold the lie. They have the thought that, well, if I just go to college, everything's going to be fine. And some of these make less than minimum wage. It's terrible. Early childhood education, we need educators. It just does not pay well. And it's sociology, it's psychology, it's anything in the fine arts, all the beautiful stuff, music and acting. Criminology is terrible too. And this is sort of a surprise too, but a bachelor's in physics isn't going to get you very far. And so part of these are like, if you use psychology as an example, as a launching point to go get a doctorate, that's very different. But most people don't. Most people just stop with a bachelor's degree in psychology. And as a psychologist myself, it's a horrific idea. Here's my best advice. College's business decision. Go to the Occupational Outlook Handbook, Department of Labor. It's online. It's free. Look into the jobs first. Start there. Like, what is it? What job do you want? Look at what they pay. Because when you'll see, like, for example, early childhood education, very low on the list. You're making $30,000, $40,000 a year. You can't pay off your student loans with that.
So he made a very good point, man. You have to do your research before you decide to major in something. And this is very, very important because if you are paying for college, it is thousands and thousands of dollars that you are paying for. And you have to pay all of that money back. And I think one of the major things that people do not do is they don't research their degrees and what they're going to be doing after college. So I think he made a really good point in doing the research and how much that field pays before you major in a specific field is really, really important. And some of the lower paying jobs is always going to be those jobs where it involves working with people like psychology, sociology, childhood education, being a teacher. Those are always like the lowest ones. But a lot of people are just passionate about helping people, which sucks that those are the lowest paying degrees, but that's just the way life is. So I think the biggest point that he made in here is doing your research and seeing what that major or what that field pays before you go out and study that thing and decide to get, a certificate within that field. I think it's a really, really great point that he made.
3 college degrees that don't count. One, if you're walking across that stage today or this weekend at any point and you're getting an art history degree, just hand it back. Give it back and go sit down. You can tell me the difference of art between the Han and Ming dynasty. I love that for you. What is that immediately applicable to? Now you just look like a know-it-all. Because if I tell you, oh yeah, this is from the Asian, if you go, actually it's from, I don't want to hear it. We don't want to be your friend. 2, comedic arts. You studied 4 years just to learn how to tell a joke. I hate to break it to you, bucko. You're not funny. You either got it or you don't. The best way to gain, a sense of humor, put yourself through some trauma. Go date someone who you know is not good for you. Born into a broken home. That's how you get funny. Not by studying jokes. I think of like a comedic arts degree. I think of like that scene from The Joker where he's up there and he's laughing at his own jokes. That's you. That's you. You're trying to get that funny money. 3, comic book art. I like to draw manga too, big guy. I watch anime too. Not everyone's going to be able to make the next Jujutsu Kaisen. You know how many submissions mangakas be putting in before they even get one? Do you have that resolve? Do you have that? Do you have the ability to be rejected hundreds of times over? You ain't just going to get Kaiju no 8 first try. Not for the weak.
Yes, I didn't even know you can go to school to become a comedian. What? That's even a thing, to go to school to become a comedian? That's absolutely crazy. I didn't even know that. I think that's true though. Some of these degrees, you just have it or you don't. One thing that I will say though about the art majors and people who like do studios and major stuff like that, those are things that you can do freelance and build a brand around. So for example, if you're really good at art, it would be really beneficial for you to do it on a freelance way. So let's say you start your own business where you're selling your own art. You're not going to find a lot of jobs in art unless you're working like in school. So I think if you are genuinely passionate about some of these areas and like you want to make money, you essentially have to find a way to like turn it into a business or turn it into something where it's a high value skill and you're, presenting these ideas to companies and you're making money that way. Because just looking for like an art job or, a studio job, I don't know where you can even find those things, You know what I mean? So if you're truly passionate about going into a field where you want to study art, you want to study studio or filmmaking and stuff like that, you got to get so good at it to the point where you are able to turn it into your own business, and then you can sell your services to people, and that way you can start making money. Because finding jobs for art, it's not going to be a lot of high paying jobs. You know, that's the advice that I give people who are genuinely passionate like about those areas or those fields.
Here are the top 10 broke college degrees. Starting at number 10, we got miscellaneous education. Unfortunately, teachers just don't get paid enough. Number 9, we got special education at $40,000. 8, elementary education at $40,000. 7, early childhood education at $40,000. Please pay our teachers. 6, performing arts at $39,000 because only the top of the top get paid the big bucks. 5, leisure and hospitality at $38,000. Now, honestly, I don't really know what you do with this degree. 4, psychology at $37.4 thousand. Now, everyone who hated on me in my previous post, this is kind of why I said what I said about psychology. Family and consumer sciences at number 3 at $37,000. Number 2, social services at $37,000. These are not my opinions. These are actually very valuable people, but society's just messed up for whoever knows why. Number 1, and no, it's not basket weaving. It's actually something, I don't know if you guys are expecting this, but it's theology and religion, and make sure to follow for more.
See, I told you guys, the majors that have a lot to do with helping people, like teachers and stuff like that, and social work, social services, you are not going to make a lot of money. But the bad part, the crazy part is we need a lot of those people. We have a shortage of teachers. We have a shortage of people working in the social services field because people just need help. And the unfortunate thing is helping people doesn't help you make a lot of money. So it just sucks to see that, you know, teachers are not making that much money. I'm always going to advocate for teachers in the education system because who's going to teach our kids? You know, someone's got to go out there and do it. And so if it were up to me, you know, I'd pay them a little bit more because their jobs are hard, being stuck in classrooms for like 8 to 9 hours, teaching the kids, teaching our future. I think we should be paying them more money, but it just sucks that they're not making that money. But yeah, if you want to make a lot of money and you're going into the field of helping people, it just sucks that you will not be making a ton of money. You know, it's very unfortunate, but that's just the way that society is, and it's just terrible, and it just sucks.
The top 10 most regretted college majors. Some people claim that a college degree isn't worth it anymore, but people with a bachelor's degree make an average of 84% more than high school diploma only. But not all college degrees are the same, and 44% of college grads regret theirs. And here are the 10 worst. Remember to follow if you like psychology and money. Number 10, English language and literature. Number 9, biology. Number 8, political science and government. Number 7, medical and clinical assisting. Number 6, marketing management and research. Number 5, education. Number 4, communications. Number 3, liberal arts and general studies. Number 2, sociology. And the absolute most regretted college major, and please share this video with someone who needs to see it, journalism.
Journalism, huh? I don't even know how much journalism would pay. You know, I never thought about that. But I think one of the majors that he mentioned is like the medical, some sort of medical field. I don't think that's a low paying job, though. I think areas like within the medical field, they pay pretty decently depending on, you know, your skill set and where you're working at exactly in the medical field. But yeah, these are very good points. A lot of those that he mentioned are just like in the field of just like helping people, education. It's a lot of the ones that he mentioned on here. That last one, journalism. I don't know if any of you guys have a journalism degree. Like, what do you even do as a journalist? How do you even find a journalist job? I've always thought about that. Like, do you get into like doing news or like just writing up stuff for people? That was always interesting to me. But yeah, a lot of those that he mentioned, we've already heard about too.
I'm literally having like a midlife crisis. Like, all these jobs out here are paying $23, $24, $25 an hour, and I'm not trying to sound ungrateful, but like that's just not enough money. Like, I cannot survive. I cannot live. I have kids. Like, I cannot use $23, $24, $25 an hour and make a living. Okay, like, it's not enough money. It's simply not enough money. It's just not. And it's like, did I go back to school and get a bachelor's degree for what? What did I get a bachelor's degree for? To make $23, $24, $25 an hour? For what?
Man, I felt that one. The good thing is you don't necessarily need to go back to school. I think a lot of people feel like they need to go back to school to start making more money. I'm one of those people that advocate for not even going to school to make more money. There's so many different ways you can go about making more money, whether it's starting your own business, whether it's getting a certificate in a different career field, whether it's just, starting a side hustle that's really important. Social media is a lot of the ways that people are making money now. YouTube, we're on YouTube. People make so much money on YouTube once they, build an audience and build a platform. So there's so many different ways you can go about making money without having to go to school and racking up debt. You just have to figure out what skill set that you are good at and go at it. Me, for example, I started my own business this year and I'm currently doing YouTube. Like, those are the things that I'm doing. And I used to do all three of those on top of my 9-to-5 job. So I had a 9-to-5 job, that I was working at. And then I started my own business, which is a home healthcare agency. And I was doing YouTube. I never went to school for business, nor did I go to YouTube, nor did I go to school for YouTube to edit videos and make content and build an audience. So it's like you just have to learn skills that are gonna make you a lot of money and just do them, or else you will always be stuck somewhere. And just staying stuck, staying stagnant and doing the same thing every single day is not gonna change your life. You have to figure out what ways can I make more money and actually do those things instead of just complaining and being stuck, because the world is not going to change unless you are willing to put in the effort and find jobs and get those skills where you can start making a lot of money. So if there's any advice that I have for you guys that are working at jobs where it's not making you a ton of money, find a way that you can share your story or share what you do online, or even start a business around your degree, so that way you're making more money. Because if you're passionate about being a teacher, you're passionate about art, you're passionate about filming, why don't you just build your own business and you sell your services at a certain price where you're making your own money, and you can figure out, you can set your prices, because when you work for a company, they determine how much money you make, not you. You need to start doing something where you determine how much money you get paid for the services that you are giving people. For example, if you are a teacher, you can do homeschooling for people, or you can do online classes. Then you can start charging people certain prices hourly, And so that's the first step, is figure out what ways can I use the skills that I already have in order to make more money. Because you already have skills. You went to school, you went to college, you have the skills. Now you just have to figure out, how can I use these skills in order to make more money? And that's all up to you. And I already shared with you guys some of the ways that you can do that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are new, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.